Jared and Jensen.
The youngest dad on television.
The hottest dad.
You guys have aged a little bit. Just like, wow, the crowds are really sized down since the last time.
What happened? They didn't sell
Jersey.
They didn't sell the back half. Hi, Jersey. How's it going?
Better now.
Julie, say it better now? Alright, I'll take that. Very, very cool.
No lack of plaid in the audience. That's how I always say the Supernatural convention. That's right. It's a sea of plaid.
Well, now I'm self-conscious. I fit in. Yeah. I tried to just get it all off.
Sure, make us look good. So early.
Your father's right there. Clean it up.
That's right. Not from
Well,
my
you gotta
dad.
clean up in front of this guy.
Yeah.
I'm the troublemaker. Pretty much. Yeah, our father's starting a wide swath for us. Hard to fuck it up following in my footsteps.
Hey, did anybody go to the concert last night? Nobody? How was it? Sorry to miss that. I went and saw Dear Evan Hansen. Anybody see that? Yeah. And within the first 20 minutes, I was like, okay. All right, I'm just gonna go. My God. Yeah. I wasn't prepared. Dear Evan Hansen, but kind of like swept the Tonys this year, like Hamilton.
Is it like the fourth Manson brother? Or?
Yeah. So you've seen it? Yeah. Same thing. Well, we are, Jensen and I are midway into episode 7. And Jeff is midway into what? Episode 12 right now?
That's it. That's exactly right. How did you know that?
Math, baby.
Man, it's a good man. Yeah. He looked it up on his phone. It's the circles under my eyes. Gotta be 12. Right, it could be 10. It usually happens around 11 or 12.
Well, the first 10 episodes, it's bags, then it becomes circles.
Yeah, God, by the end of it, it's a skeleton.
Shadow.
Shadow of my former self.
I hear you. Well, we know you guys have been waiting, so before we just jibber jabber about the bags under our eyes, let's get some questions. All right. Mr. Morgan, why don't you start this mug off?
Oh, hell yes. How about this young miss here? Yeah, you know. Look at this. Watch me. Look at this. There's a microphone coming your way.
That was not a question, by the way.
So my question is, how different would have season 12 been if John came back instead of Mary?
Ooh.
I'd like to hear the answer to that.
I think Sam would have been pretty angsty. Season 12 was fun as an actor to kind of play that, Sam knew his dad, so they had their kind of quarrels and troubles. Sam didn't know his mom, so for Sam specifically, it would have been kind of either way, it was kind of a chance to redo it, right? Like a rebirth of a relationship. So I think we would have made it work.
It would have been angsty. It would have been angsty. Proper
Yeah,
word.
let's go with angsty. Yeah.
I kind of battled with that for most of the season, is because at the end of
season 11, Amara says, "I'm going to give you what you need the most," to Dean. And of course,
Straight legs.
I would think, yeah. No. Who needs that? You can keep your straight legs.
I like the bow legs.
Bow legs for life.
It's like you just got off a horse, straight legs.
We love you the way you are, Jensen.
Yeah, I know. I think.
That was a good one.
But I always thought that what Dean would at least want the most was to have his father back. And so I kind of battled with that for a long time. I was like, well, maybe they just couldn't get Jeff. He was a little busy, and they're like, well, okay, let's go with Mom. But it actually, and then at the end when we see Dean have that kind of dream sequence with Mom, and it all comes out, it all floods out that he has resented his mother for what she had done at such an early age. Then it all kind of tied in and made sense of, oh, that's what he needed the most, was to forgive his mother. So I think it would have been a totally different dynamic as far as the storyline goes, but to have that impact of having Mom back and what that meant for my character at least was, I think, pretty awesome.
Thank you.
Excellent question.
I'm gonna go with.
Oh, and we would have had an extra tool in the trunk, a bat wrapped with barbed wire, so that would have
Dad loved that thing.
I'm gonna go. I see some flowers on.
That was cool, by the way.
Yeah.
I haven't seen you since that was on the television. That was super cool.
been. So did I tell you how that happened? So our third AD, Lee, one of our assistant directors, it was Halloween last year, and he was going to go as Negan for Halloween. And so he got the bat, he got the barbed wire, like did the whole thing. Like he put some time into it. And so I asked him, I was like, oh, I want to see the bat. And so he brought it up to me, and I was like, I think I have to take a picture of this. So that's where it came from, yeah.
Yeah, but how did you get it in the show?
Oh,
'Cause you
so
worked with it
it was,
with
so it was, yeah, it was after the picture that I
Yeah, after the
and the writers saw that, and they're like, well, we're using that.
That was awesome. And I was waiting, because AMC can kind of be assholes about stuff like that.
Oh,
you know?
really?
Oh, sure.
You waiting for them to come down on that?
No, the creators of the show, of Walking Dead, when they saw it, just thought it was the greatest thing ever. Yeah.
There are cameras out there. Watch what you say.
Oh yeah, we delete that. No. AMC is awesome.
I'm so thankful for them.
But they're also precious about their Walking Dead, as they should be. Just like CW is a little precious about Supernatural.
No, they're great. CW is great.
AMC is awesome. A finer network that's never been out there. And they treat me well. I'm so fired. Well, that's the end of Negan. Let's bring John back.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
I just want to say first off, thank you.
You know you look like a Snapchat filter.
Thank you. Well, thank you for making this the best birthday ever. I kind of want to ask, what was Jerry Jensen? What were your favorite things about working with Jeffrey? And Jeffrey, how does the set of Supernatural, how did that feel different from the set of Walking Dead? What makes them so separate other than they're different shows?
I'll start. I remember,
There's 2 cast members as opposed to 50.
That's true.
I remember meeting Jeff during the pilot. We had shot something the same day, we shot during the daytime, and he was shooting his stuff that night. And so we crossed paths and met. But obviously, we didn't work together in the pilot. It was a couple episodes further.
Yeah.
Maybe 17.
We little, yeah.
Here's a fun fact. Jeff was younger than I am now when he shot the pilot.
The show has been on for like 47 years. To be fair.
Is that true? Yeah.
Yeah.
36.
Yeah. Well, we figured, I think that was a couple of years ago we did the math on it.
Yeah. Anyway.
Wild.
We're all old. So that just means we're all fucking old.
Even feeling. It was really neat. We finally worked together. Problem is, I love Jeff, but Sam has issues with John, you know? So sometimes.
Never would guess.
Yes, exactly. Sometimes that can be difficult because you're like, you know, they call action, you do your bit, they call cut, and you're like, sorry I'm barking at you, man. Like, you know I love you. It would be nice to have him back when AMC fires him.
AMC is awesome. In case I didn't mention that earlier.
I will say that when the storyline took John away from Jeff, away from us, I was bummed out. I remember talking to Kripke about it. He was like, listen, I love Jeff, I'd love to keep him around, but as the story goes, it's a story about these two brothers fighting the fight and also dealing with the loss of loved ones. And in order for that to happen, we have to, and you noticed over the course of many seasons, we do lose the ones that are close to us. It's kind of like the brothers are cursed in that way, but he was, having him on set is like it was almost like having a third brother on set. We're all, it's super easy, and we all get along, we all understand the work in kind of the same way, and so it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun when you get people like Jeff, and we've been blessed to have a lot of other people come through the doors at Supernatural who just fit right in the pocket. It's all synced up. It's nice.
But man, how fun would it be to come back? I haven't worked with these guys in 10 years. It's been like at least 10 years. So I think to be able to come back now, or whenever that could happen, when AMC sees the video you guys post. Because it's been a long time and we've all kind of grown. We were young. They were really young when I was last on the show. Now everybody's got kids and we've kind of figured out a little bit how to do our job. Parenting. I might be a better dad now.
Or at least understand it.
Yeah. And I'm super blind right now too in my life, so I couldn't read post-its on your forehead anymore.
Have you ever told that story?
No, but I saw that you guys have told that story.
Yeah, of course we have.
We never heard it from you though.
No, I remember the day. Oh yeah. The problem, I was doing Grey's Anatomy and Supernatural at the same time, and I was just. That guy's dead too. And then ABC, another great network, by the way.
The backstory is.
Is it Grey's Anatomy?
Oh yeah, that's still on too. Yeah.
You're the
You got like the Midas touch.
The backstory is, if you're an actor on a show, you have what's called a turnaround. So if you film until midnight, they can't bring you until noon. That doesn't.
Which is a union contract thing.
That's not the case if you're on two different shows.
No,
They don't care.
Yeah, they don't care. So they'll fly you. When you were going we're doing grades until 4 a.m.
Yeah, and then I would come in and then I'd be with these guys, and then I would just break into fits of giggles half the time. I mean, literally, I would have my lines on their foreheads and stuff because I just couldn't memorize it all. And they, needless to say, get me a ton of shit. Yeah. And still, 13 years later, I'm hearing about it.
Absolutely.
But now, because I'm blind as a bat, I can't do that.
You actually have to memorize.
I have to memorize my lines. And Negan. AMC,
Talks a lot.
AMC's awesome. Negan doesn't shut up, ever. On the drive here this morning, I came in from my farm, and I have a 12-page monologue tomorrow that starts at 4:30, and no one says anything but me.
Oh my God.
Spoiler
Negan's still alive, motherfucker.
I mean, I love AMC.
AMC.
I can't wait to see it, but that's like my definition of a nightmare.
It's
A 12-page.
Well, and I get it, like with 2 days notice. Yeah, it's fun. And I'm blind, so no cheating.
Wow.
You
And
guys,
they like their works to be said as is.
Ooh, really? Ooh. See, that's one thing that we've established over the years is the writers give us a lot of leeway when it comes to like they'll write something and it's kind of more of a suggestion.
If you get in the ballpark,
Yeah, they're like, you guys, this is the point we're trying to make. If you need to put it in your own words, feel free.
And I think that's as it should be, and I think that's a testament, one, to you guys as actors. They trust you. No one trusts me, obviously.
For obvious reasons.
Let's not have Jeff improv at all. What's this scene about?
Just read the lines, Jeff. I can't read. I'm blind.
Who am I supposed to hit? Where does Lucille go?
swinging around.
That's all I need to know. I can kind of make out faces.
There's such great writers.
And there's great writers, AMC.
AMC forever.
AMC. No, they are great writers. We're cool.
All right. Let's go over here. How about glasses, jacket? Yes.
I see like landing runway lights.
I know. It looks like it's like staring into the
I
sun.
don't even know where you're looking.
Hi.
What?
I wanted to know how you feel about Castiel's death.
Jeff?
That's awkward.
You want to know how Jeff feels about? How does Negan feel about Castiel's death?
More dead the merrier.
I think you will. I think that will be answered as the season starts to roll itself out. Dean doesn't handle grief very well, especially when it comes at him from multiple angles, and you'll see kind of how the difference in what Sam does to deal with it as to what Dean does. But it is it's interesting. But I don't want to give too much away, so you will see. You'll see the answer to that question in the first 4 or 5 episodes.
I think as an actor, not as a fan, but as an actor, I dig how Supernatural, more than any show that I can think of, allows the characters to lose people they love, but can also seamlessly bring them back. You know?
Supernatural.
It is. So it is a fun storyline to play. Thank
So are you saying he's not dead?
I'm not saying anything, because I know there are cameras out there, Jeff. And I love AMC.
AMC.
You're up,
Jeff.
I like the hat back there. You know, the devil horns and the fuzzy.
It's a
gloves.
devil and a halo.
Oh, it's a halo.
It's just
Whatever it is, I like it.
The devil horns and the fuzzy fuzz. And
The fuzzy fuzz.
Is it not devil horns and a halo?
That's exactly what it is.
So you're just very confused.
I couldn't decide. I said, why not both?
Hey, why not?
Well, I'll tell you why if you really want to know.
Bi-spiritual.
identity crisis.
I'm confused just looking at you.
See what you did?
That's the
Even
devil.
Mike is confused.
So my question is, you said that the Winchester brothers are cursed. Do you think it has anything to do with the fact that all the mirrors were broken in Bloody Mary?
Yes, but that would have only lasted for 7 seasons.
That's true.
Yeah. So we're out of that period now. It must have been something else.
Why did they come?
That's why it's been rosy since season 8, right? That's pretty funny. I never thought about that.
We broke multiple mirrors. So
We did. Do they compile? Break 2?
Oh, it's so for every mirror you break is in the 7 years. Oh yeah, no, then we're screwed. That's. I think you nailed it.
Stop breaking mirrors and this show could end before you're 97. It could end on a happy note.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Woo! The mirror thing's behind us.
Supernatural. The senior years.
Do you know how many we broke?
All of them.
A lot, right?
If I remember correctly, it was more Sam that broke them. Just saying.
That's why you can't have nice things.
Yeah, that's why we don't have nice things. That's true.
I'm gonna go with my boy in the back, white shirt. Yes, sir.
I just want to say that it was awesome when you guys made your separate horror movies, My Bloody Valentine and Friday the 13th. I have both of them on DVD.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. And my question is for Jensen. In the first 2 seasons, your voice is really high.
This is false, bro. I can answer this one.
Oh, yeah, it's called puberty.
So it wasn't you. You didn't do that purposely. It was you changed.
No, actually, I'm glad you asked that because the reason I now have medical issues with my throat is because this guy, I thought, okay, well, Dean looks up to his father so much. And Jeff had this very kind of baritone, deep voice. And I thought from a character standpoint, I'm like, well, that's where he needs to end up at some point. So I started lowering the register kind of slowly and slowly.
Is that true?
Yeah. Really? Yeah. And that's what started it. And then as I course, as I got older, my voice just naturally kind of got deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And so what's funny now, because it was last year, I was the same age as he was when we did the pilot, and I was like, oh, okay, this must have been what it felt like to have this voice. Yeah, to hit puberty at the age of 35. Yes, but originally it was a conscious effort to kind of follow his lead, and it's just kind of led me to here. So
yeah, me too.
Yeah. Well, and then Jared didn't want to be left in the dark, or left behind, so he was like, well, wait, if you're going low, I'm going low.
Exactly. And, to be on the show with Jensen, who's using his low register, Mark Shepard is like, what are you? Misha doing his casting.
I'm raging from perdition.
I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do? I just have a normal voice. Like,
Am I supposed to lie? Dude, what's up, dude?
It's been a fun show to be on.
The original.
I feel like the Soprano of the cast.
The original tagline of the show was saving people, the family business. So I said that in season 1, that tagline. They used that tagline for promos for years.
No.
I had to, I think it was a year or two ago, I had to go back and re-record that line.
Because your voice would take.
Because it was like,
I think they're saving me.
so I had to re-record it so that they could use it. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Ackles, you're up.
How about right here in the aisle? Yes. Stop touching your microphone.
Good morning. First
Good
of all,
morning.
congratulations on your growing families.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I have a creative question.
Wait, do you know something I don't know?
Congratulations.
It all still works.
Yeah, and Jen's pregnant too.
Ooh, awkward.
You're telling me.
Demon baby.
I have a creative question. The music on the show is really an integral part.
Are you guys done messing around?
Damn it. I I've been here for 10 minutes trying to get this question off.
The music on the show is really an integral part of the storytelling.
Yeah.
Who chooses that? Is it a writing thing, a directing thing? And is there a song that hasn't been on the show yet that you guys would like to hear?
I mean, a dozen songs that I'd like to.
There's some music that is dictated by the script that they write in to the script. That's pretty rare, but it has happened a few times. Most of the music that is put into the show is done in post-production by our post-production executive producer Phil Segricha, who is a music fanatic. So I'm glad he has that responsibility. I think he's done a great job over the past 13 years with it. And it's often, a lot of it is often dictated by what we can afford by the end of the production, because certain money is allocated for the production of the episode, and whatever money is left over, they usually try to use that to buy music, and music is expensive. So there's a lot of music that we would like to use that there's not money in the budget for. So kind of have to pick and choose, but that's generally where that ends up. It's in the hands of the post-production folks.
I would love, for the last episode of the show, I don't know what the song is called. It might be called "This Is the End" or "The End" by The Doors. I would love for that to sing a song.
I think after 12 years, though, the supernatural is such a phenomenon that I feel like bands now, especially because you guys play classic rock and roll, and I think a lot of these bands, it's a huge honor to be part of the supernatural world.
Did you hear about our
the Kansas thing?
Yeah,
I watched it. I wasn't there in person, but I watched the whole YouTube video.
It was insane.
It was the coolest thing I've ever seen. Yeah.
A, with Kansas on stage, and then B, we had tried for years to use Metallica, but it's not even a money thing. They just don't like their music. They don't like their music being used for TV shows for whatever reason, which is fine. But they let us use Nothing Else Matters at Comic-Con for a recap. Like they finally, after 12 years, were like, yeah, cool, use it. So they didn't have money for it.
Yeah, they were like, you guys are cool, you can use music. They're like, wait, Metallica's gonna let us use their music? That means they actually know who we are. They were like worthy enough.
We're finally made men.
Yeah.
And it really is the best soundtrack on television. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, done a great job.
That was tricky originally, right? I mean, other than AMC.
Thank you very much.